friends. This is Tata Lumbanda, Afimaya Galarraga, and this beautiful afternoon, sharing this very simple message with you. And I don't know where Spirit is trying to take me with this message, or I kind of sort of do, but I'm hope that I successfully deliver the message to Spirit's liking. Um, and the message is we need more men. Yes. We need more men. We need more men in this society. We need more men in this world, in this universe. We simply need more men. When I speak of men, I think about role models. I am speaking about individuals who can actually teach the younger crowds, the younger boys, and also the younger girls as well. Because a real man will not only teach his son the right way to do things, but he will also teach his daughter what to expect of a man so that she doesn't settle for anything less than that. We need more men. We need more men in this society that can actually talk to the kids, that can teach them things of valor, honor, respect, etiquette, the way to carry themselves. I'm noticing as I get a little tiny bit older, I'm noticing the language that the young crowds have today, the teenagers, boys and girls, the body language, the approach, the way they express themselves amongst boys, amongst male friends, and also girls. It's interesting to me the expression that young ladies use today, with all due respect, without offending anyone, because it is not my purpose to offend. It never is and never will be. But the young girls these days don't act like young ladies. Obviously, there's always exceptions. There always is an exception. I'm speaking upon generally the general public in large quantities. The young girls these days, how they carry themselves, it's very interesting to me. We need more men. Men that can teach their boys how to carry themselves, how to be correct, how to express themselves in the presence of women, whether they're young girls their age or adults, how to look, their appearance. It's not that I am old school, but it's not that I'm too stuck in being in an old school fashion in mentality. It's a matter of the appearance that boys have these days. I mean, it's been around for a while. I went to high school in this country, and yeah, there were kids in school that I saw them, with the pants hanging down and things of that nature. But it's become such a norm, the styles that are out there these days. These kids don't even dress up anymore. Girls are dressed in the coochie mamas, and boys are dressing like they're all, I don't know what, homeless or something. I don't even know how to describe it, and I don't want to say something that might sound offensive to anyone, because again, it's not my purpose. But the appearance that the boys have these days are not conducive of something that seems to be promising for their future. I tell you why. Number one, because we live in a society where everything is based upon appearance. It's not about what we know. It's not about the knowledge. It's not about, what they have been able to learn in school. It's about how they look, the appearance when they get somewhere, The first thing people see before you open your mouth is your appearance, what you look like. And not to make this a video on race, on ethnic backgrounds. I don't want to go there. I really don't. But those of us that are of color, black, in any tones, darker, lighter, black, we are placed in a category already for being black. Hispanics, Latinos, whatever you want to call, are also placed already in a bracket. So when we arrive somewhere, our appearance, our ethnic background, our skin complexion, our skin tone, our color already gives room for an interpretation or an opinion of whom we are without us even opening our mouths. So we have very talented, intelligent kids these days, but their appearance does not help them in what they're trying to achieve. But this goes beyond that. I don't want to make this video about the clothes that they wear and and whether the pants are ripped, whether the pants are hanging from their butts, down. I'm not gonna make this video about that. I'm gonna make this video about men, the adults, because that's what Spirit is really trying to talk about. Spirit is trying to talk about the fact that those men that are out there these days, if you are a head of household, if you are a husband, if you are in a monogamous, steady relationship in which there are kids in the house, men need to step up to the plate. Yes, they need to provide. Yes, they need to make sure the bills are paid and have a roof over the head for their families. But men need to also find time and balance their time to spend at home, to dedicate their hours and their time to their kids, to their children. Because the lack of communication that exists these days is contributing to boys doing what they want to do, how they want to do it. They're teaching themselves along the way. They're hearing from other friends. They're going by what they see on social media, but what they see on television, but what they hear on the radio, and they're basically teaching themselves. And what they're learning is not always correct. It's not always right. It's not always conducive of walking a straight line. We need to teach our kids manners. We need to teach them etiquette. This is why Spirit is making such so much emphasis on something so simple as sitting at the table and eating dinner at home. Let's start there. When I was growing up, when my parents were growing up, that the act of sitting at the table at dinner time was so important. It was vital to the structure of family. Because of lifestyles these days, unfortunately, the sitting on the table and eating dinner together as a family has become unheard of practically. We eat on the run, we eat as we go, pick up something on the drive-through, or moms and dads, buy things, they order a pizza, so for the kids because they are at work, so the kids, order a pizza and it's so informal. And that informality is hurting us as a whole. There's no downtime, there's no connection, there's no communication, there's no having a conversation, an important conversation at dinner time, because that's what the table was for. It wasn't just about eating food, it was about bringing families together. The table is sacred. It is sacred, whether you're religious, whether you're not religious, whether you practice my tradition, whether you're Catholic, whether you're Christian. The table, sitting in a table as a family, is super important for giving our children a better understanding, number one, of what a family should be and what it should look like. Number two, to connect with them on a different level, because, of course, times change. So, what my life was when I was growing up is not what the lives of these kids are now when they are growing up. This is their time, and therefore, different times, different customs, this different ways of seeing life, different experiences, different everything. But being able to be sitting as a family around in a table helps maintain fundamental basics that should never be lost, regardless of how many years go by and how many different generations rule. Education, expressing, sharing thoughts, opinions, listening to what the kids say so we can correct them and say, hey, that's not cool. Where did you hear that from? Who told you that? Oh, my friend, my buddy said that, blah, blah, blah. You know what? That's not cool. That's not how things are done. This is how things are done. Blah, 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 blah. We need to sit at the table so that we can eat as a family. I say fathers, but when I say fathers, I don't care if you're the biological father of that child. I don't care if you're the stepfather. If you are the male role model, if you are the male figure of that home, you need to make it a point to try to the best of your abilities to eat at home, at the table, with your family, in the presence of your kids. Not that you and your wife are sitting on the table and the kids are eating in the room, or everyone's just getting their food and they're going their opposite ways. There's no unity. And that lack of unity is provoking that everything else is broken as well. The brokenness that already occurs in something so simple as eating as a family together at the table equates to the brokenness that we see in the formation of these kids. How they act, how they see things, how they react to things, how they look, how they express. Some kids don't even know how to eat. I'm sorry. 16, 17, and 18-year-olds grabbing a spoon or a fork like they're cavemen, eating in ways that it's like when they encounter a nice young lady and invite them out to eat, maybe the young lady does have etiquette and does know how to carry herself in a table, and here she's sitting on her first date with this gentleman who is a nice boy. We're not talking about their moral character, we're not talking about their heart, we're not talking about their principles. We're talking about just the way they carry themselves. And here you are in a restaurant, this young lady is in a restaurant on her first date with this young man for the first time, and here he is eating like a caveman. These are things that we teach our children at home. But since we buy Domino's Pizza all the time, and we don't eat at the table together as a family, we don't even have an opportunity to correct them and say, hey, what are you doing? I mean, hello, that's not the way that you're supposed to be eating. Sit up straight. Come on, don't put your elbows on the table. Grab the spoon correctly, grab the fork correctly. Etiquette, simple things, just simple things, just like that. It's been lost. It's been lost. And what happens, it has a greater effect. That not being able to sit at the table and eat with our families is having a greater effect in everything else that surrounds the life of our youngsters. The way they treat other young ladies as well, because they don't know how to treat them. Us men have not taught our boys how to treat young ladies. So therefore, the young ladies are being exposed to barbaric young kids that don't know how to express themselves, that don't know how to pull a chair for a young lady, that does not know how to open a car door for a young lady. I don't care if young girl comes from Beverly Hills. I don't care if he comes from Rochester, New York. I don't care if she comes from Harlem. I don't care if she comes from Liberty City in Miami. And I don't care if she comes from Compton here in California. A woman is a woman. A young lady is a young lady. You open car doors for her. You pull the chairs for her so she can sit down. You're supposed to, as a young man, know these things, but you can't know these things if the examples have not been placed. If the fathers, the stepdads, and whatever male role model is in this particular home is not showing the child what he's supposed to be doing, what can we expect as a society? A whole bunch of brokenness. A whole bunch of brokenness. And it's sad to me. It's sad to me. Because then these same girls that could be your daughter, they don't have to, but these days we're starting to see young girls settling for these kinds of boys. That they're not bad, they don't mean harm, they just don't know any better because they have not been taught. So this video, I guess Spirit is really dedicating this message to the fathers out there, to the men out there. We cannot be absent men. We have to stop being absent from home. If you had enough energy to create that child, you have to have the heart to stay there and raise them correctly, rear them appropriately, steer them in the right direction. Because 9 times out of 10, I don't like generalizations. Let me make this very clear, because I don't want to see a stupid comment in the video. I don't like generalizations. So obviously, not all men are the same. Not all homes are broken, but there are sure as hell more broken homes now than there have ever been before. So this message is for the broken homes. This message is for the men that are absent from their home. This message is for the fathers that are creating kids, but they're not raising them. You have to be there for that son, because you are the only one that he really has. He has mom, and he will always have mom. But there are things that we as men have to teach our boys that can only come from us. You're talking to a man that was raised by his mother, and Lord and behold, if I may say so myself, I believe wholeheartedly, without a shadow of a doubt, that my mother did beyond an excellent job in raising me and my older brother as a single mom. But this does not mitigate the fact that there's something that only a man can give to a son. And on the other side of the coin, there's only certain things as well that a man can offer to his daughter, so that she can learn how to value herself, how to respect herself. What I'm speaking about, I'm not talking about doing immoral acts, doing things that are degrading, because moms will do the job in teaching their daughters how to carry themselves correctly, accordingly, and not be out there in the street doing inappropriate things. But what I am saying is that the same way a man, a father, manifests himself at home, carry himself at home, is the example that that young lady, when she is growing up, 11, 12, 13, 14, is the example that he is setting for her expectations when she becomes of age to date and to be in the presence of other men. But if the father is not setting that example, what she is missing from dad, the love she is missing from dad, the affection she's missing from dad, the example she's missing from dad, she's going to go find it in the wrong hands, by the wrong man that will not respect her, that will not validate her. So fathers need to set an example for all his children, boys and girls. Boys and girls. Men are not speaking enough. Men are not having a connection with their children enough. Men are not involved in their children's life enough. And if, for whatever reason, unfortunately, you are an individual who your marriage ended in a divorce, or your unity with your child's mom ended, you have to double it up. You have to make it even more important to be present as much as you can in the life of that child that you helped create. Don't take your personal problems that you have with your ex-wife, with your ex-partner. Do not take your negative experience and the downfalls that you went through in that marriage or relationship and take it out on the child. Do not take it out on that son. Do not take it out on that daughter. The first thing most men say, well, if they need me, I'm there. No, it's not about whether they need you, you're there. They need you, because that is evident. That is self-explanatory. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. It doesn't take a healer spirit to figure that out. If you have a child, he or she needs you. So just because your marriage was broken, just because the unity was broken, does not mean that the relationship with your child has to be broken as well. Some of you men are treating the relationship with your children the same way you treated the relationship with your wife. And that is provoking such a big mess in today's society. Women ending in the hands of men that don't respect her. Women ending up in scenarios that are against what their heart really wants and desire and needs. It's ending up in boys not knowing who the hell they are, having issues with their identity. And I'm not just speaking about their sexual identity, I'm talking about their identity as a whole. Because they haven't had their true role model, which should be their father. And if it's not that father, then it's that stepfather. Because when as a man you come into the life of a woman that already has children, it's not about you trying to substitute or take anyone else's place, but you are the role model of that home, of that unity. And if those kids are young, if they're younger than 18 years old, they are looking up to you, even if they don't know they're looking up to you. So you have to set the example. If they have a great relationship with their biological father, amen. Glory, let it be. That's the way it should be. But some reinforcement is never wrong. It's never wrong. They should have the best examples from their biological father, who should be involved in that child's life, but they should also have great examples from you as a stepdad. Man up. Step up to the plate. Call your duty. Your duty is calling you to try and instill the right examples into our young. They need advice. They need, connection. They need to know what route they should be taking. And your silent voice is contributing to their silent actions. The actions that we don't see because they haven't learned it, so they're not doing it. They're doing everything else that they see on MTV, or on TV, on hear on the radio, and see other people doing. We need men that are role models. We need fathers to be present. We need fathers to take responsibility. We need fathers to speak up. We need it. We need it. We need it. It is necessary, because this society is going down the drain. Our youngsters are going down the drain. Their actions are going down the drain. Your inability to communicate with your son, with your daughter, your absent behavior, your silent voice equates to the boys that are in jail, equates to the young ladies that are pregnant before their time. That's what it's provoking. That's what it's causing. That's what it's causing in today's society. This message is for men. Spirit, the universe wants you to step up. Your relationship might have broken, but don't break the relationship and the bond that you should have with that child. I know there are lots of mitigating circumstances. We got women. This is not this video. That will be another video. Hopefully, if Spirit inspires me with the right words to communicate on that. This is not a video about mitigating circumstances, which, women that, they are resentful and they don't allow their, the child's father to be involved in the kid's life, and women that are also hindering the bond that a father should have with a child because they couldn't control the relationship. Now they want to control the relationship that their children have with their fathers. That is wrong. I'm going to do another video on that, hopefully. But this message today is for men. Step up. Be involved. Connect with your child. If you're divorced and separated, go get them. Go pick them up. Speak to them. Make yourself available. Don't make your career, don't make your job, don't make your dollars, don't make your paycheck more important than the ability to connect with your child. He or she needs you. They need you. And some of them are not asking, some of them are not looking for you because they don't know how to reach out. They don't know how to say, Dad, I need you. But it's your responsibility as the adult to say, if you need me, I'm here. To be present, whether you're asked to be present or not, because it's your responsibility to be there. You shouldn't have to be asked to be there. You should be there already. And what's even more saddening is the homes that are not broken, the homes that father, mom and dad are still together, but they're so engulfed in their life purpose, they're so engulfed in their careers, they're so engulfed in their CEO positions, they're so involved in their professional life that they're not present at home to raise their children. Mom and dad gets at home 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and unfortunately, for the most part, you can't really have dinner around the table at 11 o'clock at night. You could try, but it's not the same. So we have to make adjustments. I know we have bills to pay. Trust me, I know. I know that some of our jobs are demanding. Some of our professional responsibilities are demanding. But in that particular case, pick a day. Sundays was always a family day. Always a family day. Pick a day. If it's almost impossible for you to do it Monday, Tuesday, pick days out of the week that you will be present, that you will sit around the table and eat together as a family. It's a must in order to save our young, in order to nurture the very weak minds of our youngsters, our teenagers. They don't learn how to express, they don't learn how to communicate, they don't learn how to speak, they don't even know how to talk, much less act. It is your responsibility as a man, as a father, as a role model, as the male figure of your home, to be present in all ways possible, in any way you can. You have to be present. Men, step up. Dads, your children need you. Father, your son, your daughter needs you. Teach your daughter how to choose the right man. Tell her what to expect from a man. Teach her what she should not settle for, what she should not deal with. She should not be dealing with a man that's into any kind of addiction. She should not be dealing with a man that puts his hand on her. She should not be dealing with a man that only uses her for sex. Teach your daughter what to expect of a man. Teach her by example, by how you treat your woman, and teach her by words as well, about the way you treat her. It's a must. Teach your boys how to respect girls. Teach your boys how to not to look at girls as sex objects. Teach your boys not to look at women as objects, period, sexually or not. Teach them to love their girlfriends, their future wives, and respect them as much as they should love and respect their own mothers. It's your calling, it's your duty to do this. Too many boys are referring to girls as bitches, and this bitch this is bitch that, and hold this and hold that. We can't have that anymore. We cannot have that anymore. This deplorable and degrading approach from young guys, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and above, towards women in general, towards girls, towards young ladies, it's abominable, uncalled for, unnecessary, degrading, hurtful, detrimental to the equilibrium of our society. Teach your boys, men, be present. Before you decide to walk out that door because you've given up on your wife, you've given up on your partner, think about the effects that will have on that child. I'm not asking you to live in a prison. I'm not asking you to deal with what your heart chooses not to deal with anymore. But be present in the life of that child. He and she needs you. That's all I'm going to say today. Many blessings to you. Many blessings to your families. Many blessings to your children. To your children. To your children. Many blessings to you all. Hit that like button if you found this video to be informative or necessary or important. Leave your comment. Share it with someone that needs to hear this message. Share it with your teenagers as well. Okay? And many blessings to you all. Tata Lumbanda, Afimaya Galarra.